You made some unusual appointments when you first took office of the city council members to the various committees and assignments. Specifically, George Rapson to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Traditionally, that has plum assignment has always gone to the mayor, and Gino Withelder as mayor pro tem. Usually, that's the most senior member of the council, and Gino, I think, is second most senior, if we can, and we're not talking age here. The reason I ask this question is because I think it's telling about your management philosophy, your management style, your style of governing. And so I think it's important for people to understand your thought processes back when you were making those appointments, because that would help them understand why you do some things you do and the way you do them.
The appointment process, first and foremost in my mind, was we are all elected officials. We all represent the people of Mesquite.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I think it's important that each elected official has an assignment that will affect the city of Mesquite. They have to be in the loop. They have to have those assignments so that it's like Craig going to the RTC.
Mm-hmm. Craig Hafen.
Great choice, in my opinion. He understands
Well, he
development.
has caused quite a stir with the controversial bus
He's a
contract.
great choice. He's a great choice. I think it's important that, number one, each council member has an important assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was first and foremost.
Okay.
I will be honest with you. I've struggled with the toughest assignment I made was the decision between the LVCVA board and the NDA. I had a number of people call me.
Nevada Development Authority.
Sorry, Nevada Development Authority.
That's okay.
I had a number of people call me and say, you've got to take the LVCVA board because the mayor's always done it.
Right.
And then, well, you need to take the NDA too because the mayor's always done it.
Right.
George Rapson was an executive with a casino. He understands what the LVCVA board does.
Yes.
I've worked at casinos in a marketing level. George, to me, was the obvious choice. And in thinking about it, it was the last one I decided on.
Okay.
And the last one I discussed with council and with each individual member.
Mm-hmm.
And to a T, every one of them said, whatever you wish.
Yeah.
So the decision was logically fairly easy to make when you have somebody with the background that George has, Mr. Rapson. It was easy for me to make after weighing the pros, the consequences, everything. George was the right decision to make.
Yes.
And
He was most fitting for the position.
So NDA is more what I feel the mayor should be doing. My responsibility is over the city, and my concern is the city.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I thought I could do the most good.
Okay.
So, and I have some background in development. I've spent many years on different commissions here. So I felt that was not a better fit, but a good fit for me as well.
Okay.
While going with that over philosophy that basically said each council person needs an important position.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Gino and the mayor pro tem position. Councilman Gus Davison obviously has been on council the longest.
Yes.
He is also at the heart of the Virgin Valley Water District issues that we're facing.
Right.
He has the most background in it. He has the most up-to-date knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I did not feel comfortable moving somebody with that knowledge and that information out of that position.
Okay.
So Gino was made mayor pro tem based on that, as well as the fact that Gino, he goes to a lot of different things, and he really is a good face for the city of Mesquite.
Yeah.
And he does a great job of it.
Okay.
So, again, another good fit for the city.
Okay. All right, and one last question, kind of to wrap it up. What ideas do you have to improve the markability of the city? You touched a little bit on it at the beginning of this interview. And how do you plan to evaluate the benefits of that for retirees who live here as well as businesses in the city?
We talked a little bit about this. I've been asked, what's my vision?
Mm-hmm.
And you need to get your vision out there. Quite frankly, it isn't my vision. It's our vision.
Okay.
And I'm kind of changing, going back to when we were campaigning, when we would ask, you would ask us to spend 5 minutes talking about ourselves and then the next 55 minutes answering questions.
Right.
I think it's important that we stick with that formula. Because
Okay.
if we're not asking questions of the people, we have no clue what's going on.
Right.
So whenever I'm speaking from now on, I'm asking more questions than I am speaking or answering more questions.
Right.
And in one particular, where I spent a few hours with the men of the Methodist Church last Saturday,
Uh-huh.
we spent a lot of time with me asking them questions about what is it that brought you to Mesquite.
Uh-huh.
And every one of them, to a T, the sunshine, the weather, all of those things that are obvious benefits
Mm-hmm.
that, we don't have much to do with. But they said to a T, Mesquite feels like home.
Okay.
And I think that's what we need for a vision, Barb. We need to figure out what it is that makes Mesquite feel like home
Right.
and sell that. And so we're going to be working on that by, number one, me listening. And I think more politicians need to learn to keep their mouths shut and listen.
I know a few that would have benefited quite well. No, not here in Mesquite.
It's nonpartisan, Barb. I'm going to stay that way.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much,
You're welcome.
Mark. And don't call him mayor and don't call him sir, or he'll yell at you. But thank you very much for your time today and for the conversation, for the answers. And I think a little bit clearer picture of where we have come from in the last 100 days and where you want to take us in the next 100 days. So we appreciate your time with Mesquite Citizen Journal this morning.
Thanks, Barb.
Okay, thank you.